Google's an important one because I want to make sure I rank really high on Google. And if I'm not meeting their standards, then that's going to be an issue. 23. Okay. Hey everyone, Andrea here, Kinsta employee and on-the-side travel blogger. If you've been following me, you know that I'm on a journey to optimize my blog. Now, I wouldn't consider this a scientific process, but I would be remiss if I didn't do a little bit of benchmarking before I start this whole process. Getting some data on how fast my website actually is, or how slow my website actually is, I should say. Based on my research, the important thing about running a speed test on your website is that you do it with more than one tool and more than once. But is there more to it? To find out, I reached out to Sal, a support engineer at Kinsta. Hey Sal, thanks for joining me. So can you tell me what's a speed test and why would someone want to do it?
Whenever someone talks about speed test, it's pretty much like a test designed to see how much does a website takes on loading on a visitor window. For instance, you load your browser and you go to kinsta.com, for instance. So the speed test will tell you exactly how much the entire website will take to load completely all the images. So the speed test will tell you exactly.
So how would you go about doing that? I saw so many tools online and I don't have time to do 15 different speed tests. How do you pick?
Well, we usually here in Kinsta, we usually use and suggest 3 different tools. The first one would be like Google's very own like page speed insight. The next tool that we use is GT Metrics, and that one uses 3 different methods. And the last one is the most techie one. It's the most complete out of the 3. It's webpagetest.org. That will give you a whole lot of lists, and you would run 3 different tests at the same time. So it will tell you if there's any difference between of them, because it's very different. The first load due to cache and CDNs. So that's why it's important to do it 1, 2, or 3 times, so you can actually see the difference. The first load, the second load, and the third load, and you're gonna see the effect of caching and the CDN on that one.
If I am implementing performance speed boosting tips, how soon should I see an impact? I don't want to get discouraged right away if I don't see an immediate boost. What's a reasonable expectation?
We usually suggest like 24 hours at least. So we leave like tools, and we can leave like our tools running, and we can compare like what you had on a Monday versus to what you have on a Tuesday.
Awesome. That's really interesting and good to know. Thanks so much for your insight.
You're welcome.
Sal confirmed what I thought. It's important to do a speed test with more than one tool and more than once, considering how cache works on a website. So I've chosen these 3 tools and I'm going to go ahead and test my website. The first one is Google Page Speed Insights. 23. Okay. So for mobile, I got a score of 23, which is definitely in the red, fail, terrible, lowest category. And for desktop, I've gotten 57, definitely not where I want it to be. I want it to be in the green. I had marginally better results the second and third time I did the Google tests. And then I moved on to GT Metrics, and these were my results, starting at a whopping 13.6 seconds. And then lastly, I did the web page speed test, which gave me an okay letter grade across all 3 tests, but you can tell here that I'm still way over 3 seconds for load time. At this point, I'm not entirely sure what these reports are trying to tell me about my website. I have a couple of guesses and hunches, but in a later video, I'm actually going to get one of my colleagues to go through a report with me and give some concrete recommendations for my own site. I'm ready for my next step, which is migrating my site to Kinsta. Tune into the next video where I prepare my website for migration, interview one of my colleagues about how migrations work at Kinsta, and see for real if migrating to Kinsta actually makes a difference on your speed performance. Thanks for watching.